Peterson is at it again. Jordan Peterson. So I actually just finished reading this thing about Savoyard Vicar. This is a famous thing that Jean-Jacques Rousseau had written, that even Voltaire had credited Jean-Jacques Rousseau with, writing something. He's like, what, the great person who wrote The Profession of Faith of a Savoyard Vicar? I would very much, Voltaire, they're going to have like this famous beef, but at one point in time, Voltaire actually invited Jean-Jacques Rousseau to stay with him when he wrote The Social Contract. He wrote The Social Contract and he wrote Emile. He wrote 2 books, and then Paris started burning his fucking books and just going, basically he was like, hey, world, think about shit. And they just fucking, shit a brick, right? So Emile, and then he goes to Switzerland, and then those Calvinists, they didn't like his views on religion, so Profession of Faith I'm getting off track. So Profession of Faith of a Savoyard Vicar, he goes on and he was sitting there saying about how we need to figure out, what's reality, what's going on, because a lot of people just seems to be getting on one side or another just to condemn, a certain group of people without even really knowing what the fucking truth of the goddamn matter is. So you have all these people that's like, they'll go into, groupthink, right? So it's like, what do you think about Jordan Peterson? Well, he's a right-winger, so, well, fuck him. Even if he considers himself a conservative, that's acceptable, that's okay. There's a big vacuum because there's no fucking, there's no good conservative voices out there. So Jordan Peterson should be excited and jubilant that, he's getting all this publicity because there's a vacuum. You take away Jordan, and he's wonderful. I was going to do a thing where, oh, look at this, people want to say he's a misogynist, right? Oh, he's a misogynist, right? He's got Emily Bronte. The people are just leveling a bunch of shit. He's a conservative, so therefore they level all the worst shit that I guess conservatives that you could level at him. But conservative just means that you don't want things to change. You like how things are. Liberal means you want things to change. And so this is, some things need to change, some things don't need to change. So really, why do people get so one-sided on some shit? But he's got Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights. So this misogynist who loves his wife, takes his wife dancing, he says out of all the books in the world that you should read, read some Dostoevsky, read some Hemingway, right? Read some Mikhail Bulgakov. But he also says read Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte. So this is fantastic, right? An English novelist, poet, best known for her only novel, Wuthering Heights. It's a classic of English literature. She also published a book of poetry with her sisters Charlotte and Anne, titled Poems by Kerr, Ellis, and Acton Bell, with their own poems finding regard as poetic genius. Emily was the second youngest of the 4 surviving Bronte siblings between the youngest Anne and her brother Branwell. She published under the pen name Ellis Bell. So Wuthering Heights, right? Fucking Heathcliff, the passion of Heathcliff, and then there's, the other person that did the other thing, and then there's Heathcliff. Don't forget about the Heathcliff, right? Mr. Lockwood and Henley, and then there's Catherine, right? There's Heathcliff and Catherine, and that's it's a love story. So, okay, Jordan Peterson, getting a little sappy right there. Savoyard Vicar, the thing that Rousseau was talking about was how people weren't talking about the truth. They weren't getting down to the nitty-gritty of what the fuck is going on. They just wanted to do this group think. What group are we in, right? Progressive, liberal, socialist. What groups are we in? And in some respects, he says, spurn ideology, fuck ideology. In fact, by saying this is how things are, that's what gets you, spurn ideology, stand strong, stand straight, stand tall. He says to try to put your shoulders back. So he's a professor, and he's also a, whatever those, Freudian fucking mind people, what do they call that, whatever, it doesn't fuck, is a psychologist kind of, or whatever, so some kind of therapeutic psychologist. So that's what he does, psychopsychology, so psychoanalysis, what the fuck do they call that shit? I don't know. But, yeah, so when it comes to the Shitlibs and Jordan Peterson, I like Jordan Peterson. I like Jordan Peterson a lot. I mean, compared to, like, some of the fucking shitty shit that's out there, he's just basically saying, stand up tall. You know, there's some hierarchies at work, okay, and it's okay to be a man, you know, as long as you're not hurting others. And, you know, do your best. He's actually saying, you know, reach out and stand tall and, you know, don't get pushed around. But he also says, you know, chase your dreams and go for your ambitions and do, you know, carpe diem, essentially. Seize the motherfucking day. Go out and, you know, go read poetry in caves and shit. Start a Dead Poet Society. Seize the motherfucking day. That's great lessons. Jordan Peterson is fantastic, so I don't understand the, you know. Oh, he's a righty. He's a righty. He's a conservative, so you don't have any conservative beliefs? Yeah, right. Hey, Shitlibs, you're on YouTube. That's conservative. You got an internet that fucking works. That's conservative. You're okay with how things are? Doesn't matter if things change or doesn't change for you. Well, shit, man. That's conservative. That's fucking body conservative. Some things need to change, some things don't. So, you know what? Every one of you motherfuckers got something you're conservative about, and every one of you motherfuckers got something you're liberal about. So, you know, we need a more honest, you know, balanced conversation anyways. Right? I think.